Average Dude has something to say about...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Really didn't think I was going to be doing another video on this, but this particular situation, men versus women, male versus female, it's getting so out of hand, this Adria Richards situation. Oh my God. First of all, let's go over the journalism. Wow, our journalistic integrity, what's that? When you see news stories or you hear reporters or you read the journalist, the stuff that's in the paper or online, it's so ridiculously come on, people. If you're going to do a story, I know it's hard. It's hard for me doing these situations. I have to go through multiple situations just to be able to put all the pieces together. Okay? With the sole exception of one article from a female writer, every single piece from a female journalist or female reporter has always gone over and focused upon the death threats and all of that on Adria Richards, and neglected to mention Adria Richards' sexist, crude comments about the penis on March 14th on her Twitter feed. And for the men, it seems to be divided. Half of them will mention and focus on the dick jokes that she made as well as the guys, or they'll just simply jump on the let's appease the women bandwagon and just focus on her being a victim. This is ridiculous. If you are going to do a story like this, you go over the whole doggone thing. Okay? She's a scrappy dude. Let me at him, she was looking for a fight where there really shouldn't have been one to have been had at all. And I mentioned in the previous video, I'm one of those males that was abused by the women in his life. My mom, grandma, and I kept hearing the excuses. Asking for help got me in worse trouble. I mentioned fear. You understand 3 words: fear, hopelessness, and eventually when you hit that wonderful, blessed moment, freedom, that you would never understand the feeling of that kind of freedom until you have genuinely become free of that kind of bullying, abuse, and harm. I don't think that Adria Richards has faced that in her life. Looking at her little videos that she posts of these conferences, she's got these smiles on that condescending smile on her face when she's lecturing people about the male-driven world. Who does that? Who in the world, if you've been a victim, you don't have a smile? You don't. Even as the years go by, you don't have a smile. For her, it just seems like a platform. She's had a lot of success. She had a very high-paying job. She's a privileged one. She's not a suffering little girl. Unbelievable. And I keep hearing these excuses from the women that are defending her. Ladies, this is not the woman that you defend. Come on. There's that poor girl that was, what happened in Steubenville, Ohio? Send your attention there and support there. Not with Adria Richards. Oh, going through this, I've heard it all before. Of how, it's different when men do it. And, women, they're allowed. No, they're not and shouldn't be. And you've got to be kidding me. That's the whole point of equality, isn't it? It's like I'm reliving those awful early years again. And this isn't even personal for me. And yet it's bringing back those memories. All this defense from these women that are just... Oh, God. Quote, the men made the sexist comments about their own body part. So did she. So did she. You don't understand. They were at Pycon professionally, so they deserve to be punished, and it's not the same with her. So was she. Okay, that whole bit with the men was on March 17th. Hers was on March 14th. She was at Pycon for multiple days. But on March 14th, while she was at Pycon professionally representing her company, She didn't send private messages. They're all public. It really coming up with disgusting, the length, the whole dollar bill bit and the length of the guy's penis and the whole stuff in a sock to make you, look bigger down there. She's extremely crude. Or you don't understand. She was simply enforcing Pycon's code of conduct. Let's go over that. It's been changed, but let's go over the code of conduct as it was, the one that she was referencing when she threw her hissy fit on the 17th. Quote, all communication should be appropriate for a professional audience. Harassment, sexist, racist, or exclusionary jokes are not appropriate. All communication, including hers. So, let's start from the beginning and move on to the end. As I said, I don't get the vibe at all that she's ever genuinely been a victim. She reminds me of, unfortunately, those people that I've known that are bullies. And they're really in your face about it. And they always have a sob story. They lay it on really thick. But let's start with this. March 14th, let her own conduct speak for itself. Okay, March 14th in the morning, 9 o'clock, quote, she tweeted, awesome code of conduct for Pycon conference. Okay, so she was paying attention to the code of conduct for Pycon. So what did she do a couple hours later? Quote, you should put something in your pants next time, like a bunch of socks inside one, ... large ... sock. Faint. OMG, you have me blushing here at Pycon. Yeah, so she's making a really crude joke about male genitalia, and yet she's also indicating, I am here at Pycon. Way to go. Later that day, the 6 inches, the whole dollar bill and the dick, oh God. And then on March 17th, she starts complaining and mentions the code of conduct. The same one that she violated. She got those 2 guys ejected, but yet she got to stay? She deserved to be kicked out. And if she was so high and mighty about that code of conduct, she would have, picked up her little... She should have got up and left, but she didn't. Because apparently she's allowed and they're not. Over a body part that they had, and she didn't. March 17th, quote, as an advocate for digital equality, my actions today at Pycon made me feel like Joan of Arc. Oh, that disgusts me. Oh. I wish it would have stopped there, but she kept going. She's one of those really vindictive people who let her professionalism slide back and her personal issues move to the foreground while she was working, while she was there in a professional presence. And she does have deep-seated personal issues. I completely... And boy, is she a narcissistic, full of herself personality. You'll get what I mean. Because when she outed these guys and publicly took that picture and threw it out there, and then for the world to see via the internet, again, can you imagine if a guy would overhear women talking about their body parts or something, female-oriented, take a picture of them, not say anything, and then spam it all over the internet to publicly humiliate them? Oh, the uproar would have been, and rightfully so. And the uproar against her is rightfully deserved. She deserved this backlash. Doggone it. I mean, not the death threats or anything like that, but she definitely deserved to be fired. This was on company time. She made her company look horrible, and she is a sexist, although I'm sure she would never ever agree that she was or acknowledge it. But let's go over her narcissistic woe is me on her blog. March 18th, quote, I know it's important to pick my battles. Well, then you really shouldn't have picked this one. Quote, I know I don't have to be a hero in every situation. You were not a hero in this situation. You were the bully. You picked a fight with them. They weren't picking a fight with you. They were having a conversation among themselves. Quote, like Popeye, I couldn't stand it no more. Oh, God, yes. And here she comes with the whole up in your face, oh, I'm dying on the cross for you kind of thing. She talks about that trigger, the picture of the kid, and that's why she humiliated and went through all this crap. Really, a kid, a picture of a kid. So you were concerned about the kids, Adria, right? And the future of the kids? Like the 3 kids that are suffering now because their dad's out of work because of you and your hissy fit and your personal selfish vendetta. These kids, quote, there is something about crushing a little kid's dream that gets me really angry. Like kids possibly facing foreclosure on down the road, right, Adria? That is what makes me angry, Adria. You vile woman, you. And then she has a stupid discussion about de-individualization, quote. It very much reminded me of the Lord of the Flies. Oh, well, yeah, she referenced Lord of the Flies. For those who aren't familiar with Lord of the Flies, it's a story, kind of a controversial story about a group of little boys who are abandoned, stranded on an island, don't have any parental supervision, and they kind of get wild, and they lose, civilization kind of. There's this one character, and I'm sure that she thinks that she is this character. This one fat kid with glasses, his name is Piggy, and he tries to keep order. And amidst the growing chaos, he picks up a conch shell. Okay, whoever is holding this conch shell, you get to talk. Well, guess what the kids did? The other boy, they end up killing him. I'm sure, yeah, Joan of Arc, and it reminded me of the Lord of the Flies. Oh, it continues. March 19th, from Adria, her lovely little post. They didn't stop. Quote, straight white male, the lowest difficulty setting there is. Nothing sexist about that. On behalf of men, I'm disgusted with that one, Adria. March 19th again. Quote, dealing with bullying, an effective approach. These are tweets from her. Hey, you've got to be kidding me, Adria. Yeah, the bullying that occurred afterwards. Ladies, she picked a fight. She's not the victim. Although she has become victimized, I said this in the last video, she is a wolf in sheep's clothing who has been attacked by other wolves. And I am going to cover that in the next episode. In last episode, I'm going to deal with this situation because it deserves a discussion on its own. It's unacceptable.